Theresa Emshwiller, for those that don't know me. I see some new faces out there, but I'm just going to give just a little update today. It's mostly going to focus on measles misinformation. Because, in February, a little girl died from measles, right?
Right.
She didn't die from measles, okay? The medical records have been released. She died from medical malpractice. She had secondary bacterial pneumonia, common after many viral illnesses. The hospital gave her the wrong antibiotic. It should have been, so they gave her 2 antibiotics. One of them was a good one that they should have given her, but then they should have given her one from a different antibiotic class or family. They should have given her azithromycin, and they gave her vancomycin instead. They did not correct this error for over 2 days. And at that point, she was already in the ICU declining. She did not receive the proper antibiotic until 9 hours after it had been ordered. So they realized it was the wrong antibiotic. They ordered a new one while she's in the ICU, and she didn't receive it until the next morning. When you're in the ICU, that's intensive care. You're supposed to be, getting things right now. The hospital systems stay out of them. And she was already on a ventilator by that point too. And you guys know what ventilators do. She died less than 24 hours later. Her measles infection her spots were already fading by that point. Her other siblings had already been treated and were completely recovered from measles. This little girl just had complications because she got secondary bacterial pneumonia. And that, in the malpractice that she suffered with in the hospital, is why she died, not from the measles.
Has all that information come out then, Theresa?
They released the medical records. Dr. Pierre Corey has gone over them, as well as Dr. Brian Hooker. Suzanne Humphreys went over. They have all gone over. There was another death too. That was another child, and that one was also medical malpractice when you look at those medical records too. I didn't go into the details of that because I don't have that much time tonight. So she was already recovering from measles and suffered from another infection. And that was the same situation with that second child, Steve.
When the question was asked, has it come out? Yes, it's come out, but is it anywhere in the mainstream news?
No, you won't. You won't hear it on mainstream.
That's why it's up to us.
That's why I'm talking about it, because you guys need to be armed with this information, Jeff.
Where, what hospital, where?
That was in Texas. I'll have to look up the article for what hospital, but it was in Texas. The other thing that mainstream media is really lying about and pushing is, Robert Kennedy came out and said to use vitamin A. And I told you guys last month, use vitamin A, but use a good quality. Don't just go and get like beta carotene, get like a fermented cod liver oil is the best in my opinion. So, use like a whole food source, beef liver, cod liver oil, to get your vitamin A and just work it into your diet. It is a fat soluble vitamin, so you don't want to overdose on it. I give my children a very small amount every day that I remember. But one of the things that the media is reporting is that there are children that are suffering from vitamin A toxicity, but they fail to report on how they know it's vitamin A toxicity. They're going by, the children have abnormal liver function. But the thing is that you can get abnormal liver function from a whole slew of things. One of them being mono, another being strep throat, and one of the children that they said was vitamin A toxic. She actually, the doctor that was seeing her, she tested positive for mono and strep throat. So it was not vitamin A toxicity. She had not even received it. So I just want to remind you, as I always do, to when the mainstream media is harping on something and really, really hammering on something, dig deeper, because it's not probably true what they're hammering on.
Usually the opposite.
It is usually the opposite. And I just want to, I'm just going to make this really quick. I just want to remind everybody that the MMR vaccine is cultured on 3 different aborted fetal tissues, aborted fetal cell lines. So there are 3 different human DNA lines in that vaccine. There is both male and female aborted fetal tissue in that vaccine. They have never tested that vaccine or any of the vaccines for mutagenic potential. So when you're not testing something for mutagenic potential and you've got a whole slew of things that you're injecting into your children, you know, my poster back there says 78 doses before the age of 18. None of them have been tested for carcinogenic, mutagenic, or most of them have not been tested for impairment of fertility. Okay, so just, you know, questions. Be smart about it. Don't go inject willy-nilly just because you're scared of measles. Measles, the immunity from measles is, you know, 75 plus years. The immunity from the MMR, you might be lucky if you get 10 years. You're really lucky if you get 20 years. Rick?
Just to go along with, it's unfortunate the young girl died.
Of course.
Percentages wise, how many of you have all been through measles and lived?
I didn't get lucky enough to get it.
Well, okay, and I'm not downplaying the measles, but she also had bacterial pneumonia.
Yeah.
So you got that on top of it. The next thing is, we got 22 million illegals that came in through the Biden administration that added to this, that nobody wants to talk about either. Up to that point, we haven't seen measles.
That's true.
No, that's not true. We have measles cases every single year.
Oh.
Every single year. We have, even the year that they declared that measles was eradicated, we had measles cases.
Yeah,
So.
they just don't.
I want to remind everybody about the Michigan for Vaccine Choice Legislative Day in Lansing. It's May 22nd from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you've never been to one, they're really fun. We get to go to Joseph Fox's office and bombard him, and then we get to go bombard other legislators' offices and just talk about vaccines and why choice is important to us. And it's basically just a citizens lobbying day. So if you've never been to one and you want to go, I will be taking my kids. We go every time we have it. It's fun, and we would welcome some new faces. So if anybody wants to go, let me know.
Do they listen because you're packing?
I can't pack. I can't